doing a part 2 of discussing the internet and the influencers. So in the old days, before we transversed into TikTok, Instagram, and I wasn't always on Instagram. The only reason I added Instagram was because Gary was on Instagram and I enjoyed conversing over there with him and the nation, the Vayner Nation, right? So that's why I joined Instagram. I found Instagram to be pointless, empty, and shallow, honestly. And I would always look at people's pages and be like, why do people follow them? Why do people look at them and follow them, and how do they create a business off of that? That is so fake and phony. How do they, who do nothing more than pose in front of a camera and spend all day making fake ass crap, how did they become wealthy? Well, the reality is that they were creating photographs to be shopping and causing intrigue amongst the masses. If they had money, they would purchase bots that would make it look like they have a lot of followers, because generally the way the mind works is if your person has a lot of followers, then you're more likely to follow along and think that they're selling something worth buying. The other thing that they would do, it would be their dating website, which you hear in the words from Kristen Cavallari. They have lists in their mind of who is who in Hollywood, an entrepreneur, in the places where they set themselves up to go to places where they're going to meet the man with the money, and then learn tactics to create a relationship in order to create the pretend connection, to then become the wife so they can have the money, and then they produce the child, which sets them up for life financially so they can continue to get their hair, nails, and makeup done. However, they've done no work. That's the old way. The expansion to that now becomes they want to make money for themselves, right? So not only back then did they not take care of the kids, now they're adding in videotaping their kids as they abuse them on camera, and jumping off the platforms of the men that are actually up to something good. However, the way the siren mind works is it's like, I always say the song, there's a place in France where the naked ladies dance. There's a hole in the wall where the men can see it all. Googly eyes. It's like telling someone, let's see, I can describe it as like, this is, you like taking someone's head and saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, but in a very gentle way to where they start believing it. It's brainwashing, the voice. It's like a voice that really misaligns the chakra. However, it feels good, but there's ill intentions attached to it. You can always tell especially now with the age, the hair and makeup, if they're in the feminist movement, if they're in Black Lives Matter, it's the norm of how they're trying to create societal norms. So the talentless occur as if they have the talent. However, they have the least amount of talent, except they're manipulation operators. That leaves you who are attempting to create good businesses that actually make a difference, because honestly, good people like to work, because the old way of thinking was that you were going to go to work to help people, instead of the new way now is, how are you going to help me? Imagine being in a relationship with someone who is only with you because you have 14 million followers. You've been brainwashed, attempted brainwash, and mind blocked. Meaning you can't say the words you need to say to the people who are standing in front of you. You're being abused and brainwashed on a regular daily basis. However, they're smiling to each other's faces. Now, that's an exception, because I'm talking about Gary right there, because every single day I go back, I check on him, and I keep him awake. which creates a violent existence for him. However, he's grown quite a bit in his ability to expand himself into a solid structure in strength. Now, imagine that for someone who doesn't have me standing by their side, holding their hand and assisting them, and they get sirened by that. And they have millions of dollars in the bank and millions of followers, and now they have a Beelzebub who does a yoga pose and claims I'm not sure what they're teaching you, actually. It's like, okay, yeah, I know that salmon that's in the wild comes from the wild. I know that salmon that's in a farm gets fed food. And that's your new lesson on society. Now take a look at that, as in, are you going to be able to learn something from that? Or is that common sense? It's common sense. However, even saying that out loud, as in against her, because that's how dumb she is, right? She will then retaliate against not only the community, but the man that she's claiming to be engaged to, which is all by the Democratic Party in attempts to destroy this. Now, I'm talking about me as a person. And however, I don't give a shit. Because we all know it's fake. It is a contract. It's a contract. It's a contract. It's a contract. And I will tell you this, if you know Gary Vaynerchuk and you've been watching his content, she represents nothing he stands for. However, that is the way the siren works. Not only do they attempt to steal the person away from the family that loves and adores him, they abuse the family to where they don't want to be around him anymore, so they segregate him and separate him from the family. Battle zone. Then they go to work on the friends and they try to draw that person into their friendship circle, which they're all up to the same thing too. Mind manipulation. Now, this is a political propaganda also, because the influence that Gary Vaynerchuk has across this globe is important to know that this is also part of the reason why they've come after him. His effectiveness to create possibility then becomes the creation of negativity, however it may occur as positivity. It's very important for you to know that this is a Democrat operation who's attempting to take you all out as Vayner Nation. You will not win, is the word that you will receive. You are a nobody, is the message you get every time you stand at a signing with him at this time, as she's standing over in the corner looking all sexy in her small outfit. It's a representation of what's out there at this time in the entrepreneur, in the Hollywood sector, in the Democratic Party, in attempts to propaganda and Cold War you into believing that you are nothing, so then they can destroy the planet. However, they think that they're doing something, but it's only for themselves. This is the battle. There's all kinds of different layers in it too, because we've got the Black Lives Matter, which are folks who have no education, who are slumming it. We have actual African Black Americans who work their ass off to take themselves up. And now these slumming it Blacks are now trying to take out middle class and high level succeeding Black Americans out so they can get free money. And that's Democratic Party, once again, creating a mass catastrophe for the Black community, but you won't see that until the future. I am protecting every race out there that's good. I am protecting every person out there that is good. I am protecting the animals, the planet, and the children, and Vayner Nation. And I'm getting rid of the rest. Not everybody deserves to be here.